"We're not coming, Charlie. It's not our kind of wedding." My parents' words cut like glass. They'd regret missing my day. I'm Charlie Cole, 34, a corporate lawyer. My parents ditched my wedding, dismissing my life and love. I thought family stood by you. Now I know sometimes you build your own family and prove them wrong with unshakable loyalty. The wedding venue smelled of fresh lilies and polished wood, the late afternoon light filtering through stained glass as I adjusted my tie in the groom's suite. At 34, I was about to marry Elena, the woman who'd stood by me through late nights at the law firm, my climb as a corporate lawyer. Today was supposed to be ours, a moment to share with family. I'd pictured my parents there, Mom's proud smile, Dad's gruff nod, despite their years of picking at my choices. I checked my phone, expecting a "we're here" text, my suit jacket heavy on my shoulders. Instead it rang, Mom's name flashing. "Charlie," she said, her voice flat, "we're not coming. It's not our kind of wedding." My breath stopped, the phone cold against my ear. "What?" I managed, my voice low. Dad's voice cut in. "You're rushing things, son. We don't approve." The call ended, their words landing like a punch. Not their kind of wedding. Elena and I had planned every detail, simple, heartfelt hours. Their disapproval wasn't new. They'd scoffed at my career, my city life, always comparing me to their traditional expectations. But this, skipping my wedding, was a knife in front of Elena, our friends, everyone waiting in the pews. I stood frozen, my hands clenched, the laughter from the venue's lobby muffled. My best man, Tom, clapped my shoulder, asking if I was okay. I nodded, but my jaw was tight, my chest burning. They hadn't just refused, they'd dismissed my life, my love, as if I was still the kid they could control. I thought of Elena, her dress waiting, her smile that morning. Their empty chairs would be a hole in our day, a public rejection for guests to whisper about. My parents had always judged my job, my move to the city, but this was different. This was deliberate, meant to wound. I slipped my phone into my pocket, the weight of their words heavier than my suit. The venue buzzed, Elena's laugh echoing from down the hall. I'd spent years proving myself, drafting contracts, winning cases, building a life they couldn't touch. They thought their absence would shrink me, make me question my choices. It didn't, it lit a fire. I straightened, my pulse steadying. They'd chosen to sit this out, but I'd make their absence irrelevant. This was my day, and I'd fill those chairs with loyalty they couldn't match. My parents thought their absence would break me, but I was already planning to show them what loyalty looked like. The wedding was a blur of joy. Elena's smile, the clink of glasses, friends' laughter, but my parents' call. "We're not coming," echoed like a bruise I couldn't ignore. I sat in my apartment the next morning, my tie loosened, the city quiet outside. At 34, I'd built a life as a corporate lawyer. Long hours, big cases, a name that carried weight at the firm. Elena and I were starting something real. But their absence at our wedding wasn't just a slight. It was a public rejection, a dismissal of everything I'd become. My hands clenched around my coffee mug, their "not our kind of wedding" cutting deeper than I'd let on. They'd always judged me, my move to the city, my career over their traditional expectations, my choice in Elena. I'd taken it thinking family meant swallowing the criticism. But this was different. Their refusal wasn't about taste, it was about control, about making me small in my own day. I opened my laptop, scrolling through old emails, their voices in my head. Dad's gruff "you're rushing," Mom's flat tone. I'd proven myself, landed major clients, drafted contracts that sealed million-dollar deals. But to them, I was still the son who didn't measure up. Then a message from a colleague, Sarah, caught my eye. "Heard your parents skipped the wedding," she wrote. "Ever look into their investments?" Shady stuff, my pulse quickened. Shady. They ran a small investment firm, always boasting about their smart deals. I'd never dug into it, too busy with cases, but Sarah's words lit a spark. I searched their firm online, forum posts, business records, whispers of tax evasion, questionable partnerships. My jaw tightened as I saved links. A client's complaint about hidden fees, a tax filing that didn't add up. Their perfect image was a lie, and I could expose it. Digging into their secrets could break our family. Mom's lectures, Dad's cold silences, years of tense holidays. My career was solid, but a public feud could cost me clients, taint my name. I pictured Elena's face at the altar, the empty chairs where they should have sat. Their rejection wasn't just personal. It was a betrayal of the life I'd built. I leaned back, the mug cold in my hands. I'd spent years proving myself to them. Now I'd prove them wrong, not with words, but with their own truth. Sarah's text buzzed. Need more? I know someone. My throat burned. I was ready to dig deeper. Their absence left a scar, but their secrets could leave a bigger one. What would I uncover about their perfect life? My apartment was quiet. The city's hum faint outside as I sat at my desk, laptop open. My parents' not our kind of wedding, echoing like a fresh wound. At 34, I'd built a career as a corporate lawyer. Big cases, bigger clients. But their refusal to attend my wedding with Elena cut deeper than any courtroom loss. Their rejection wasn't just personal. It was a dismissal of my life, and I was done swallowing it. Sarah's hint about their shady investments had sparked something. And now I was digging, my coffee cold, my pulse quickening with every search. Their investment firm, always flaunted as their success, looked clean on the surface. Glossy website. Dad's boast about smart deals. But online, I found cracks. A forum post about a client burned by hidden fees. A tax filing with numbers that didn't add up. Whispers of offshore accounts. My hands shook as I saved screenshots, each one a piece of their lies. They'd judged my choices, my career, my love, while hiding their own dirt. I thought of their call. Mom's flat tone. Dad's "you're rushing." They'd made me small on my wedding day. And now I saw their empire wasn't so pure. I texted Rachel, a former associate of theirs I'd met at a firm event. Know anything about my parents' deals? I asked, my fingers hesitating. Her reply was sharp. Meet me. They're not clean. At a coffee shop, her voice was low, eyes scanning the room. They dodged taxes, Charlie, offshore accounts, fake deductions. I saw it. She had files. Emails from Dad pushing for creative accounting. Mom signing off on a shady partnership. My jaw tightened, the shop's chatter fading. This wasn't just disapproval, it was fraud. And they'd built their pride while dismissing mine. But doubt hit like a cold wave. Exposing them could torch our family. Mom's hurt looks, Dad's silent rage, holidays reduced to ash. My career was solid, but a public feud could scare clients, taint my reputation. I pictured Elena's smile at the altar. The empty chairs where they should have been. Their betrayal wasn't just about me. It was about the trust they'd broken, the life they'd dismissed. I saved Rachel's files to a flash drive, my hands steady but my chest tight. Rachel's eyes met mine. This'll break them. You sure? My throat burned. I was ready to fight, but the cost was staring me down. Their secrets were mine, but so was the risk of losing family forever. Could I expose them without breaking us? The city lights glowed outside my apartment. My laptop opened to a dossier that could bury my parents. Emails, tax filings, proof of their offshore accounts, and fake deductions. They're not our kind of wedding still stung. A wound from the day I'd married Elena, their empty chairs a public slap. At 34, I'd built a life as a corporate lawyer, closing million-dollar deals, but their rejection of my love, my choices, burned. I'd spent years taking their criticism, thinking family meant enduring. Now I was done, my hands steady as I saved Rachel's files to a flash drive, my coffee cold beside me. I'd called David, my boss, the morning after their refusal. A billionaire CEO, he'd mentored me at the firm, seen my hustle. Charlie, I'd be honored to walk you down the aisle, he'd said, his voice warm. The thought of him, successful, respected, standing in their place felt right. A way to fill the hole they'd left. I pictured Elena's smile, the guests' murmurs, my parents' absence overshadowed. But the dossier was my real fight. Rachel's proof, Dad's orders for creative accounting, Mom's signatures on shady deals was airtight. I drafted an email to their biggest investor, a hedge fund that despised scandals. Coal Investments misconduct, evidence enclosed. My pulse raced. This could tank their firm, their pride. Rachel met me at the firm's coffee shop, her eyes wary. You're playing with fire, Charlie, she said, sliding me another email, proof of a hidden account. They'll come for you. My throat tightened. Exposing them risked everything. Mom's tears, Dad's rage, a family split for good. My career was strong, but a feud could spook clients, dent my reputation. I saw their call in my mind, Mom's flat tone, Dad's "you're rushing." They dismissed my life, my love on my wedding day. This wasn't just for me. It was for the clients they'd cheated, the trust they'd broken. I saved the dossier, the flash drive heavy in my hand. David's promise to walk me down the aisle was a lifeline. a new bond to replace their betrayal. The wedding was days away, and I'd make it a moment they couldn't ignore. But the dossier loomed, a weapon to bring them down. Doubt gnawed. Could I pull this off without losing more than them? Their rejection, their smug judgment, burned hotter than fear. I'd been the son who took their hits. Now I'd hit back with their own truth. David would stand by me, but the dossier could destroy my parents. Could I send it without destroying myself? The wedding venue glowed with soft lights. Lilies lining the aisle as I stood at the back, my suit crisp, my pulse pounding. Elena waited ahead, her smile steady, but my parents' absence, their not our kind of wedding call, still burned. At 34, I'd built a life as a corporate lawyer, but their rejection of my love for her, our day, was a public wound. Then David, my billionaire boss, clapped my shoulder, his presence solid. "Ready, Charlie?" he said, his voice warm. I nodded, my jaw tight as we stepped forward, guests murmuring, their eyes wide. My parents' empty chairs faded. David's loyalty outshone their betrayal. 2 days earlier, I'd sent the dossier, proof of their tax evasion, shady deals, through Rachel's encrypted server to their biggest investor, a hedge fund that loathed scandals. My phone buzzed now, mid-ceremony, Rachel's text flashing. Investor got it. They're pulling out. My hands went cold in my pockets, the flash drive's weight lingering in my mind. The dossier, emails, fake deductions, hidden accounts had landed, and their empire was cracking. A news alert popped up. Cole Investments faces investor exodus over alleged fraud. I glanced at the guests, their smiles unaware, as Elena's hand touched mine. My parents weren't here, but their world was falling, and I'd lit the fuse. David's steady steps beside me, his nod to the crowd, filled the hole they'd left. Guests whispered about the CEO of a Fortune 500 firm walking me down, a story bigger than their absence. But fear crept in. My parents were sharp, vengeful when cornered. If they traced the dossier to me, they'd spin it, call me the bitter son, drag my name through their mess. My career was solid, but a public feud could scare clients. Hurt Elena. I pictured their call, mom's flat tone, dad's "you're rushing." This wasn't just for me, it was for the clients they'd cheated, the trust they'd broken. David's presence, the guests' awe, was justice in itself. The ceremony ended, applause rising, Elena's eyes bright. My victory was real, David's loyalty, their lies exposed, but the air felt heavy. They didn't know it was me, but their glances, if they'd been here, would have been sharp. I gripped Elena's hand, the venue alive with celebration. I'd filled their absence, but their empire's collapse was my doing, and their wrath was coming. David's loyalty outshone their betrayal, and their lies were crumbling. But could I escape their vengeance? The wedding's glow lingered, Elena's laugh, David's steady hand as he walked me down the aisle. But my parents' absence, their not our kind of wedding call, still burned. I sat in our new apartment, the city quiet outside, my phone buzzing with a text from Rachel. Their investors are out. Firms collapsing. The dossier, proof of their tax evasion, fake deductions, hidden accounts, had hit hard, sent to their hedge fund client through her encrypted server. A news headline confirmed it. Cole Investments faces collapse amid fraud allegations. Their empire, built on lies, was falling, and I'd sparked it from the shadows. My hand steadied on my coffee mug, a grin breaking through, though my pulse raced. At 34, I'd carved a life as a corporate lawyer, and my wedding, David, my billionaire boss, stepping in for my parents, had shown the world my strength. Guests still talked about it, texting me, "That was epic, Charlie." My firm's partners nodded with new respect, David's endorsement a shield against my parents' scorn. But their downfall wasn't just headlines. Rachel's updates painted a wreck, clients suing, their accounts frozen, their name blacklisted. I pictured them now. No smug lectures, no boasts about smart deals, just two people scrambling as their world unraveled. My wedding's triumph, David's loyalty had buried their not our kind jab. But the scars remained. Their refusal, mom's flat tone, dad's "you're rushing," cut deeper than I'd admitted. I'd believed family meant showing up no matter what. The dossier was justice for the clients they'd cheated, the trust they'd broken for me. But it fractured us. Mom's calls stopped, dad's silence grew colder, and family group chats fell quiet. My career was soaring, but fear lingered. They were sharp, could spin this, drag my name into their mess. Hurt Elena. David's support, the guests' awe was real. But the cost was heavy. The family I'd known. Gone. I stood, the mug cold in my hands, Elena's laughter drifting from the kitchen. The dossier's work was done, my wedding a symbol of who I'd become. I thought of their call, their rejection of my love, my life. I'd answered with truth, and David's loyalty had filled their empty chairs. But the ache of their betrayal stayed a shadow under my triumph. I'd proven them wrong, but the fight had left cracks in what we'd been. Their empire was ash, and my wedding shone bright. But could I live with the family I'd lost in the fight? The city skyline glowed beyond our apartment window, Elena's soft laughter drifting from the living room as I reviewed a new contract on my laptop. Weeks after our wedding, my work as a corporate lawyer was hitting new heights. Major clients, high-stakes deals, David's mentorship paving my way. At 34, I'd built a life with Elena. Our wedding day a beacon of resilience with David, my billionaire boss, walking me down the aisle. The flash drive with my parents' dossier, tax evasion, shady partnerships, sat in a locked box, its mission complete. Their not our kind of wedding still stung, but I'd answered their betrayal with a strength they couldn't break. Their investment firm was finished. Rachel texted, "They're selling assets. Done for." The dossier's truth, offshore accounts, fake deductions had gutted them. Investors fleeing, lawsuits mounting. A news site declared Cole Investments bankrupt amid fraud claims. Their pride, their boasts of smart deals was rubble, and I'd ignited it from my desk. Colleagues whispered about my wedding, David's presence a story in itself. "Charlie, that was bold." Family saw it too. Cousins sent texts. "You proved them wrong," and Uncle Tom called me a real player. Mom's rare calls were clipped. Her voice heavy, and Dad's silence was a wall since their refusal. I stood, my tie loosened, the city's pulse steady outside. My career was ironclad. Partners trusted me, cases piled up, but their betrayal hit hard. "There you're rushing." Mom's cold tone, the empty chairs at our wedding cut deeper than I'd admitted. I'd thought family meant loyalty, no matter what. The dossier was justice for the clients they'd cheated, the trust they'd shattered for me. But it cost us. Family gatherings were tense, texts sparse, their absence a void David's support couldn't fully close. Fear lingered, they could lash out, smear my name, unsettle Elena. But my wedding, David's steady hand had shown my worth. My phone lit up, a new client, another step forward. I left the flash drive locked away, its work over. I wasn't the son they'd dismissed, the kid they'd judged. I was Charlie Cole, who'd built a life beyond their reach. Their rejection had fueled me, and I'd answered with triumph. The pain of their absence lingered, a quiet weight under my success. I vowed to protect my path, my love, my strength, never letting their doubt or anyone's diminish me again. My life soared, and their empire was gone. But could I bear the cost of a family broken by my truth? The city's lights flickered outside our apartment, Elena's soft humming filling the quiet as I closed my laptop. A new contract signed. 2 months after our wedding, my life as a corporate lawyer was stronger than ever. Big cases, bigger clients, David's mentorship a steady force. At 34, I'd built a world with Elena, our wedding day a triumph with my billionaire boss walking me down the aisle, outshining my parents' absence. The flash drive with their dossier, tax evasion, shady deals, sat locked away, its work done. They're not our kind of wedding still echoed, but I'd answered their betrayal with a strength they couldn't touch. Their investment firm was gone. Rachel's last text sealed it. They're done. Assets seized. The dossier's truth, hidden accounts, fake deductions had destroyed them, investors gone, lawsuits burying their name. A headline read, Cole Investments collapses in fraud scandal. Their pride, their smug, smart deals, was ash, and I'd sparked it from my desk. Colleagues praised my wedding's bold moment, David's loyalty a story they retold. Charlie, you're a legend. Family saw it too. Cousins texted admiration. Uncle Tom called me unstoppable. Mom's calls stopped. Dad's silence a chasm since their refusal. I'd rewritten their story, my rise louder than their rejection, but the scars ran deep. Their "you're rushing," Mom's cold tone, the empty chairs at our wedding, they hurt more than I'd let on. I'd believed family meant showing up no matter what. The dossier was justice for the clients they'd conned, the trust they'd broken, for me. But it shattered us. Family chats were dead, holidays empty. Their absence a weight David's support couldn't lift. My career was solid, but fear lingered. They could spin this, smear me, hurt Elena. I pictured their call, their dismissal of my love, my life. David's steady steps down the aisle. The guests' awe had filled their void, but the ache of their betrayal stayed. I stood, the flash drive locked away, its roll over. I was Charlie Cole, the man who'd built a life beyond their reach with a new family. Elena, David, those who stood by me. Their rejection had fueled my fight, and I'd answered with truth. My resolve was iron, forged in their betrayal. No one, not them, not anyone, would abandon me again. My path was mine, built on loyalty, and I'd guard it fiercely. Their world was dust and my life shone. But could I outrun the shadow of the family I'd lost?